What's up guys, Connor Martell here, and today we are going to be installing a light kit on these beautiful RTVs that Kubota sent us for ARA. They're the primary sponsor this year for American Rally Association, so huge shout out for them to sending these over. I'm sure they'll get a lot of use at the rallies. All right, so now we're going to install our work light kit. We've got the two fronts and the rear. So we'll go ahead and get those ready. Those come with wiring already, and then this wiring harness switch panel kit comes with the fuse panel we just put in, and it comes with this. So this will go onto the windshield, and your switches will go in here. It also comes with the harness that runs from the battery up to the fuse panel. So we'll show you how to install these lights now and how to hook everything up. So first we're gonna put the mounting bracket onto this. So this will help you be able to adjust what angle you want the light at. So you'll use these two Allen screws here and these two lock washers, and it's gonna go right on the sides here. So you're gonna put that on, and these are not tricky. This basically, these little holes here is where the nut goes, and you don't need a wrench or a socket to hold it because this nut fits in there perfectly. So you just gotta fit your Allen in there, and it comes with the correct Allen key, which is awesome. And then you just start screwing, and it should work its way in there, no problem. We'll do the same thing on the other side. So after you mount the bracket up, you'll be taking this nut. It's got this square bottom that'll fit perfectly in this, and it gives it a nice sleek look. This rubber seal that comes on it will go over that, and then you're gonna do a washer and a locking nut. The directions say to use one of these, but because we have a locking nut, I'm not going to, and I'll just use the washer because that's gonna be plenty. You can either mount these lights on the top or tucked underneath. I personally like to go tucked underneath just in case you're going through trails in a branch. I don't want a branch to grab the light and break it off. So when it's down here, it's got a little bit more protection. So what we'll do is we'll go from underneath, and this roof already comes with pre-drilled holes. You'll put the washer on top, lock nut up like so, and you won't need a rubber washer for up here because this isn't inside the cab. It's actually outside of the window, so you don't need to worry about if it leaks or not. It's just gonna leak onto the window. Washer, lock nut, get that tight. Okay, now we can go ahead and tighten them up and get them in the right angles. So you'll need a 1/2 inch, either short or long socket. There we are. Again, it doesn't need to be super tight. I do recommend just pulling down while you do it so that the square part doesn't come out of the bracket. This will be getting installed right here, like so. That's where they tell you to put it on the instructions manual. You could really put it wherever you wanted. It doesn't have to go here, but I'm gonna put it here because that's where it says. It comes with this Velcro pouch. So after you drill the holes, you'll bolt this. It'll go like this. And so then everything's kind of covered. Just helps a little bit with keeping crap off of it. To drill this, you'll want a 3/16 drill bit. We're gonna use this as our template. So just get it to a spot where you want, and you're gonna be using these 2 first holes. We're not gonna use all 4 because you don't need that many. So just line that up. Send her on through. So the kit comes with these longer Phillips screws and a locking nut. Those will be the ones you use. So drop that down in there, and then from the bottom you'll put the nut on. So by putting that first nut in, it's just gonna make it easy so we don't have to guess where the other hole goes. You'll just send your drill bit down through that next one. All right, so once you have both your holes drilled, you'll take this back out of here and we'll put this down. And this is gonna line up with your 2 holes you drilled down here. And then this is gonna go over it. So then to tighten this up, you'll need a Phillips head on the top and a 10mm socket on the bottom. This wire will be for your actual switch that goes on the accessory board up here. So to do this, you'll see the roll bar up here. It's got a pretty big gap. So we're gonna try and run this through here like so. And the control panel is gonna go bolts right here. So this will be a bunch of switches. So we'll just leave that there for now. All right, so now that we have our fuse panel in, we're gonna go ahead and run the main power for the lights. This will connect basically back here where the battery is all the way up to the fuse panel. Your positive and negative, the one with only 2 wires on the end will go into the fuse panel. So we'll go ahead and run this through, and you're gonna follow basically the hydraulic steering lines. You'll feel them right here. It's where these wires are coming from. So you'll follow this all the way up through, and then below here, you'll be able to snake the wires up through behind the dash, and they'll pop out into the fuse box. So we'll show you that. So we'll snake these through here. Try and get them as far in as you can go. And then right here, you can kind of reach in, try and find them. And then you'll just pull them through as far down as you can go. Okay, so here's the wires coming from the back. Push these up through. And this is where the hydraulic steering lines come in. So you're just gonna snake these through here. It's pretty tight, but you can definitely get them in there. And they'll pop up right to where the dash is, right here. And then these will plug in directly to your fuse panel. Once you have these up here, this is your positive, this is your negative. Just hook these up for now. This is your parking brake mechanism, so just make sure these aren't laying back in here so they get pinched, but this is plenty out of the way. All right, so once you get that popped out, we'll feed these wires through. Like so. And you'll do the same on the other side. Like so. And now we'll show you how to put the harness to connect all this down to the fuse box. All right, so after you bring the wires through the hole, it comes with these rubber grommets, and we'll get these over this wire and up into that grommet. Now you slide this all the way up, and then once you get it up to the hole, it's got this lip on it. And so the edge of the metal hole is gonna fall in between this grommet. And so you kind of just gotta mess with it a little bit, but you'll be able to see it from both sides that it's equally out on either side, and that's how you know it's in there correctly. So it should look like this when it's done. You've got an even amount all the way around, and it should look the same way on the inside. So the longer end is going to go to the right side where you have all this length, and then this will hook here, and this will go down and run behind your switch panel here, and these will plug into the fuse panel that's right behind the dash on that front left fender. And now we'll run these through the roll bar gap. So once you have everything plugged in for the front lights and you've ran your wires back here, this is what's going to give them power. Because this is positive, this is negative, so your red will go here, your black will go here, and we'll do that later once we get everything completed because we still have the backlight to do. But we'll go ahead and put the fuse that it came with in its place. And so now that's ready for us to plug in later. All right, so the backlight also comes with a wire harness, and it's much longer than the other one, which is nice because it's got to go from the back all the way to the front. And it's the same exact setup as the other lights. So these will plug into the actual light. This end where the switch box is will plug into the same fuse box up here. All right, so in the back, we won't have a rubber grommet. You just gotta lift up on the roof and run the wire in between the roof and this bar. And then again, there's a pre-drilled hold for the backlight right here. There we go. Where this roof bracket is, there's a small gap back there that you can fit the wires through. And obviously you've got to start with this end, the back end first that's plugging into the light, because you won't be able to sneak this through there. So make sure you start with the back. You're gonna pull that all the way through, and this is basically gonna run just all the way up through this bar back here, over this bar, and back to these wires. Just like the front lights, we'll run this part up to the fuse panel through this gap in the dash and the roll bar. And then your switch controller will stay back here. And so now we have the front and the back ready to be plugged in. So now I'm gonna show you guys what we're gonna do with this. This is a fuse, and we have this handy other positive wire that we're gonna mount to the starter, and it'll go to this. This positive for the lights will go on top of the winch, and then these negatives will go to the chassis ground. So we'll do that right now. We'll take this starter nut off, and it's a 12. So we'll take our little jumper wire here, and we'll go underneath. Then you can put the starter wire back on. And then you'll take your fuse, and this will go on here. And this comes with a crush washer and a nut. This will be a 13mm socket. And then from the harness for your control panel and your lights, you'll take the positive and put that on there. And then we'll put another crush washer. This just snaps back onto itself like so. And what we'll do is run these down in here, and then we'll put zip ties on either end of this to hold it down. With the purple light wire coming out of the light harness, the Kubota comes already with this little connector here, and it's wrapped in blue electrical tape. So you'll just cut that electrical tape off, and you'll see this, and we're gonna plug that right into there, like so. You're gonna take this this bolt out here that has this ground. So we'll use the chassis as a ground. You'll take the ground from your winch wires, and that'll go on there along with your ground from the light harness as well. So these both will get put onto this. Now what we want to do is just zip tie all this access cable up nicely so that it sits back here, and then we can throw the battery back in. So we've got everything zip tied up. The battery sits right here, so the battery will also help hold this in, but I went around the cage so that this stuff can't move around. Yeah, so now we'll get the battery in and we'll show you guys the finished product. So this is the mounting bracket that comes with the fuse box that we put up on the front. This will go right here, and the windshield that comes with from Kubota already has the holes drilled out. So that'll go right here. But first we got to get all of our switches in, and then all of this extra cord we can actually tuck behind here and hide it all. So whether you're mounting your winch button or your light switches, you've got to put those on first, obviously, and run your controller boxes to the back of it before you put this all and bolt it in. So we're gonna put our winch all the way to the left. This is out with the rib, so we'll put that up, and then this would be in for the winch. And then when you put the light ones in, you want these facing you, these letters. See how the other side doesn't have any letters? That's how you know it's gonna be the right way up. So these will just click right in there like so. Same with this one, letters towards you. These will just click in. And now we'll figure out which ones you want to run to where. So our backlight is going to go to this one. So find your cable that runs all the way to the back. That's this one. So this is going to plug in here like so. Just like that. And then you'll do the same for your front ones. These are going to go just like so. And then for your lights, you're going to have red go to the positive, and we already put our fuses in earlier. So that's going to slide on there like so. And then your negative is going to come back over to the negative side. I'm going to slide that on there like so. And then your front lights, same thing. And there we go. Now we're all hooked up. And then we'll just zip tie all this up and make it look nice. And all right, so we have everything hooked up now. We've got the winch and the front and rear lights. And now we'll just turn the power on and make sure everything's working. So these are all looking good right now. This light's indicating it's got power. These are indicating it's got power. Let's do the lights. Beautiful, beautiful. Now we'll check the rear. Beautiful, beautiful. Job done. Now we'll get everything zip tied up to look good and show you the final result. Alright, so I just got done zip tying all the wires. So we've got 3 zip ties up here. We ran them down, and then all the access stuff I had here, I just rolled up and tucked it behind, and that's zip tied on the top and the bottom. And because there's not much room behind here with these big control switches, so I couldn't really tuck anything else back there. And then if you come around front, we've got everything tucked in this bag, and then the winch controller I just zip tied and tucked it behind these lines down here. And then for this switch coming up, I zip tied it to the radiator frame right there. And now everything's out of the way. Nothing can get to it or pull it out, so we should be good to go. So last but not least, we just need to screw this control panel into its home here. So it comes with these screws. I'll use a drill. Getting that one started. Right there. Right there. And there you go. It's the final product. Now all the lights work. Good to go.